Hey guys, it is Countess here with you on a beautiful Sunday morning. That's when I'm recording this video. Just to start, I want to say a thank you again to all of my new subscribers. I'm like seriously blown away that I've gotten so many new subscribers in such a short amount of time. So I truly am humbly thanking you. And I hope that we can all explore these topics from this standpoint, and get into some conversations about this magical mystery tour we're all on, right? And so I kind of want to shift energy today. I want to get away from the standing stone and the heaviness and the darkness that is attached to the standing stone. I believe John Lennox is planning to go out there. He may be out there today. I'm not quite certain about that, but I want to see what happens, if anything happens on this visit that he makes. So I kind of want to just put that to the side. We'll definitely revisit in the future. However, today I want to do a tarot reading on Yoko Ono. Oh no. So I want to know about Yoko. I want to know what's up. What is her story? We get a very sort of like vague information whenever I try to look up her involvement in the occult past the admitted interest in astrology and all of that. She did make that single, I'm a Witch. And again, telling people through a song the truth, and people laugh it off because, they think she's just crazy anyways, and that love is not blind, love is deaf, apparently, to John Lennon, where Yoko Ono is concerned, right? So, like I said, we'll see. I want to explore Yoko Ono's relationship with the occult. I want to know how deep it goes. I want to know if she truly is a witch and if she truly could have been a sort of hired hand from the controllers to control and be John Lennon's handler. And I wonder this, and I want to know more about this because the simple fact that when John Lennon and her took a break, he went all the way over to the other side of the country to get away from her and her craziness, right? She even set him up with a new, ready to go girlfriend. And so through May Pang's perspective, she stated that, John was doing great over there. Yes, he was indulging in narcotics and alcohol much more, but that's because he wasn't being handled and controlled, sometimes, and I'm in no way promoting this alcohol and drugs, but sometimes one can gain an objective opinion of one's self when they are on a substance of some sort. So, everything was going good and they were having a great time out there. Even Paul McCartney came by and they rehearsed together. They kind of jammed out together. And there was talk of Lennon and McCartney joining up again, right? As soon as that kind of was in the works, I think Yoko sent Paul to California with a message to come home. You know, it was sort of like a manipulation using Paul to get her message across. And that too is a bit shifty to me. She sent Paul, you know, to John. Paul, Billy. Yoko sent Billy out to be with John Lennon, to tell John Lennon to come back home to New York. So what does John Lennon do? He packs up and he flies his ass all the way back to New York, goes back to Yoko, and they go to a hypnotist, a hypnotic therapy to quit. I don't know if it's like to quit smoking or what the hell they were going for, but she was like, this is like the best guy to do it, and I found him, and you got to come home because he's only here for a limited time. I mean, I can only imagine what she was telling Paul to relay to John to make it sound imminent that he needs to get his ass back to New York. Well, as soon as he went to that hypnotherapy session, all plans dropped. No communication between McCartney and John, and consequently, few years later, John Lennon met his demise. And then, after John Lennon passed away, Yoko Ono turned into this like tyrannical monster of his estate, you know, not giving Julian his well-due inheritance. He was the first son, you know, just because he had a rough relationship and a strained and distant relationship with his father does not cheat him out of an inheritance. But apparently to Yoko, he didn't deserve anything. So I truly do think there is much more to this story, as all of these topics that relate to the Beatles and what they were all about as a Tavistock psyop to change the course of culture and people's minds, you know, hypnotism. There you go. It's all about hypnotism. And yeah, crazy stuff. So let's get into the cards and we'll see what kind of stuff Yoko Ono is up to. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you on the other side. Okay, guys, we're back at the table, and I am going to use my just standard Rider-Waite-Smith deck today. And we shall see what we can pull out of the deck today regarding this Yoko Ono and what was her position in all of this with John Lennon and the Beatles, and is she a witch? You know, whatever answers we can come to today, I'm very, very, very curious about her involvement in the occult, as well as being a handler for John Lennon as far as the psyop of the Beatles goes, right? So it's hard to find anything out there that validates that or explains, well, you know, who Yoko Ono is. You know, she was just always seen as John Lennon's wife until John Lennon passed away, and then I think she like married a wealthy art dealer or something like that, and then Manhattan and still proceeded to screw Julian out of his inheritance. All for greed, all for her own gain. And then she started auctioning off stuff. And this is one thing that I really do admire about Billy. Billy stepped in and actually purchased. Oh my God, guys. I'm sitting here talking and I'm about to shuffle the deck. Look who wanted to say hi to us. Mr. Page of Pentacles, number 9 himself, Mr. McCartney. Anyways, it's just kind of cheeky. You know, Billy, excuse me guys, I'm having like allergies and so my voice is kind of crackly lately. I do apologize. It's one thing that I do admire about Billy is his generosity and he does seem to care about other people. And he went and bought a whole shitload of John Lennon's letters. His own letters. The letters that Julian wrote to John Lennon and that John Lennon wrote back to Julian Lennon. She fucking wouldn't even let him have something as simple as that. She auctioned that stuff off. And that to me shows cruelty. That shows vindictiveness. That shows also just somebody who has no conscience. Somebody who could be she is from a very wealthy Japanese family, you know, and being in the elite can also circle to the occult and the practice of black magic and rituals to do programming for mind control. You know, a lot of SRA victims are state, you know, that Satanism, but we're actually talking about Luciferianism here. Luciferianism being executed in the highest way, you know, by traumatizing these children, traumatizing them and making them split personalities so they can handle the trauma that they're going under. And then in turn, the controllers program each of these separate personalities to function in different ways. And it's all through hypnosis and trigger words and all kinds of fucked up stuff that we simpletons don't know much about. And that's why we have to get this information out to the world. And that's why it's so important that this stuff is exposed. And I just want to see if we can shed any light on this Yoko Ono today. So I am just about getting to that point where I am ready to just give it another shuffle. Okay. All right, guys, let us begin on Miss Yoko Ono. What do we need to know? You guys, you can't make this up. Page of Swords. In a past reading I did, Page of Swords represented John Lennon in the archetype. Oh my God. We have the Page of Cups again reversed. What? We have Strength reversed. That is... Oh no, and then we have the Five of Cups. I think we had the Five of Cups in one of the standing stones, but you know, that is one that comes up. Oh, it's like she is. But why is the Page of Cups? You know what? these are two boys. Hold on, let's do a little bit more. Let me shuffle for the second deck. Okay. Nope. Again, something is not as it seems. Again, seems to be King of Pentacles. Oh boy. Poverty. Wow. And then the Six of Cups reversed. Again, childhood. This card keeps landing in this position. The last 3 reads I've done, this position. I believe it's been the last 3. I know for damn sure it was last night when I did the read for this Crowley. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is telling me something completely different than what I was expecting to find out. Okay, so, oh man, okay, so 10 of Swords reversed. We have the Moon reversed. The Star again, you guys, the Star. And then we have the Knight of Swords. Holy shit, guys. Oh my god. Okay. Alright. Okay, I just realized that my mic was not plugged in. So, I'm just having technical difficulties all over the place today. So bear with me, guys, please. Okay, so, oh my gosh, we are definitely getting answers of some sort. And this Knight of Swords reverse just put it into perspective for me. Okay, so we have 2 young boys, or 2, young men, like teenage guys, right? We have the Page of Swords reversed, which is somebody who is a young boy who has clouded thinking, who can't express his truth. We have next to him the Page of Cups, and that symbolizes a young man who cannot express his emotions. He is blocked from that, and as a result, they have no strength. They have, total sadness and disappointment in life. So, Strength reversed can also represent a card of a hedonistic lifestyle, that there is a lack of self-control, no self-restraint. And the Five of Cups is just like disappointment. There's a moment of true sadness because all of his cups are empty. And he has his head down. So interesting for the first row. 2 boys. Totally sad. And let's carry on. We get to the Nine of Wands reversed again. We've had this in other spreads we've done. This is a card that is showing a feeling of defeat. This guy is not straightforward. There is a situation that is not as it seems. We get to the King of Pentacles, which represents usually an older man. But I am seeing this, especially with the emotions in the Moon. I'm seeing this in this spread since I'm asking about Yoko Ono. I'm seeing an older woman who, I'm not sure what her, anyway, archetypally, I'm seeing somebody who is full of material wealth and worldly success. But she is not what she seems. And she's left a path of sadness. And 2 boys are in the mix of this. Oh my God. Again, you guys. WTF. Kind of interesting, though. Next to the material wealth, you get poverty. And so let me just okay, I'll get to that when I read all of them. So we'll go next to the 5 of Pentacles, which is basically the card of poverty. We've had this before. It's desolation. It's like she is sitting here with all this worldly success and material goods while there is still poverty. And, well, I don't know. Let's come back to this card. So, you know, the 6 of Cups reversed. And again, I find this funny too. We have a 9 over here and a 6 over here. The numbers keep coming up. And some may say, well, yeah, that's, you know, there's always going to be like a repeat of numbers, or whatever. It's just coincidence, you know, and that's true to some extent. But when you start to see a repeated pattern of archetypal figures, a repeated pattern of numbers, and you're focusing on a similar situation, something that does pertain to the bigger picture, you need to take heed and recognize those repeated messages. So the numerology is there. And again, we're showing a loss of innocence. We're showing just a sad and disappointing childhood. And so, you know, the poverty card going to the lack of strength. Perhaps there is no self-control with these 2. And it's tied to the poverty and the sadness and the loss of innocence here. And things are not as they seem. While this person sits on their throne, happy and just full of all of what the world can give. But the 10 of Swords, when it's in reversed, I mean, obviously, look, we had this in the last read with Aleister Crowley upright, and it is just it's a card of full pain, like you're coming to complete pain, you're dead. All of the pain you've gone through. It's torture. It's just not good. Backstabbing, betrayal, in the most literal sense in the esoteric language. And so reversed, you know, this shows a troubling situation that looks to be a troubling situation that isn't what it seems, that is going to last a long time for this Page of Swords. Okay? And we get to the Moon reversed, and the Moon reversed, so the Moon is a highly feminine charged card. So I can deduce, paired with the King of Pentacles, that this can be a woman. And you look, the Moon reverse shows, like, it can show unhappiness, yes, but it also shows that the veil is lifting. That mysteries and the situation that isn't what it seems is lifting. It's lifting. She runs the threat of being exposed for who she is, and possibly so does this guy. Okay, and then we go on next to the star. So the star indicates blessings from the universe, and you have that here with the King of Pentacles. You know, it is also a sort of spiritual blessing, but I'm not seeing anything spiritual in here in this read, so I have to deduce that it has to be something to do with the material world. But we get to the Knight of Swords next to it. Okay, the Knight of Swords paired with a loss of innocence. Oh wait, I didn't even go over that. I am so sorry. So the star blessings paired with poverty and desolation, that can cause, so if somebody is poor, that can cause them to have no restraint, lead a hedonistic life because money is no option. You know, drink today, for tomorrow we shall die. Total, like the cult of Dionysus, you know, just fun, 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 because tomorrow we have to get up and we have to fight a war and we might die. Or orgies galore in the name of self-satisfaction. Whoa, okay, so then I jumped the gun on that. So then we get to the Knight of Swords. And the Knight of Swords is usually a guy who is charging in with executing his decisions. He is showing his ever-growing intellect and wisdom. Reversed, it is a stunted venture. The Knight of Swords is showing a man in between his usually 25 to 35, in that range. Not always, but reversed, it shows somebody who is impulsive and who is unpredictable and is just a rash individual who has broken a sort of innocence that has caused it's caused like emotional baggage. And so, guys, like this, putting the whole story together with the cards. Again, I am not trying to make the cards fit any sort of narrative. I'm trying to just explore the topics alongside you guys. And you cannot make this shit up. I can deduce with the archetypal figures in this spread alone. The two pages. Julian and Sean Lennon. The King of Pentacles paired with this feminine moon. Yoko Ono, oh no. The Knight of Swords reversed is John Lennon. Because in past readings that I did of the Beatles when they were in their younger days with the Faustian bargain that they did, John Lennon and George Harrison both came up. John Lennon came up as the Page of Swords and George came up as the Page of Cups. But in this spread, John is the adult. And it's funny because Julian was the first son. Sean is the second son. And whoa, whoa, whoa. It is, these two people have caused so much emotional baggage for these two kids, but yet this kid is in cahoots with this person in many, many ways. And this kid is just at the edge, out, kind of cast away. And, you know, it's been, she's not what she seems, and has caused lots of innocence. She's forced poverty onto Julian. She has betrayed him. There is a troubling situation that's lasting a long time. The fight he's had to get stuff from his father's estate. Not even money, just the nostalgic memorabilia. It's like, you cannot make this stuff up, guys. This is a trip. I would have never guessed in a million years we would pull these cards. So, of course, like we do, I'm going to draw a few more cards. We're going to dive a little deeper. I still want to know what if she's involved in the occult. I mean, like deeply involved in the occult. This has just shown us that John Lennon and Yoko Ono were not good parents. Duh, right? But this is again confirming it, and it is showing that there is a situation here that is not as it seems to those out of the know. And that is worth exploring in my book. So, oh, these cards are getting all loose. I don't want to. Okay, deal with jumpers. All right, so let's. 8 of Wands reversed. We have the 3 of Pentacles reversed. And then we get the 2 of Swords reversed. So it's kind of interesting that, you know, the 8 of Wands reversed signifies a sort of like immediate, speedy action. Like you're charging ahead. There is a rush, and that can kind of go into the Knight of Wands reversed. There's some sort of, I don't know, these are interesting cards to put together, because the 3 of Pentacles reversed indicates a lack of harmony. There's no cohesiveness. Could that be as a result of this charging ahead, taking immediate action on something, but then you get to the end where you are faced with a battle, basically. So it's kind of interesting because the 8 of Wands reversed is like you're charging ahead with something. It's like immediate, speedy action of something. These are very interesting cards to deal with here. Because next to it, the 3 of Pentacles reversed is showing a lack of harmony or cohesiveness. This is usually a card that shows teamwork, you know, upright, reversed, the opposite. So there's some sort of, and then paired with the 2 of Swords reversed, there is definitely a battle going on, a lack of, there is a lack of teamwork, basically, and because something is being rushed. We need to draw a couple more cards, see if we can get this something, because if I'm feeling, I know what that battle is, but let's see what the cards say, what the cards say. It's 6 of Pentacles reversed. That is not signifies an ungenerous and mean and cruel person. We have the Ten of Cups. Wow, these are like conflicting cards. The Ten of Cups is like full completion of happiness. So, I don't know. I don't know if that means like, okay. I'm sorry, guys. I have to draw another card. I just have to see. I feel like we're getting somewhere, but we need a more definite. Two of Cups. This is not the first time we've landed on the Two of Cups as our final card, but this time it's upright. So this is about a relationship between two people. I don't know if it's, and again, the two, duality dealing with a speedy action implemented, but causing a lack of cohesiveness, paired in with somebody who is cruel. You know, guys, I really think that we just, I don't know, but then I feel like, so this is kind of like the narrative of like what we're told, what, you know, what happened with Julian. But I'm seeing more too that Sean wasn't as favored as a lot of people say and think. I believe Sean, something isn't as it seems here. And I believe Sean and Julian were subjected to some sort of cruelty, meanness that kept them powerless and sad. And while this person sits on her throne, happy and comfortably, they're feeling desolate. And there's been a loss of innocence with this card again, the Six of Cups reversed. We have another two as well, the Two of Swords reversed versus the Two of Cups upright. There is a relationship, and I believe that relationship belongs to the Knight of Swords and the King of Pentacles. The Knight of Swords is because he never was able to progress to be a king, right? He got his life tragically cut off at a pretty young age. And the veil is going to be lifted. Something is not what it seems, and the veil is going to be lifted. There is some cruelty and not generous bitterness, lack of cohesiveness, sadness. The situation, like the narrative that we've been told, isn't what it seems. I believe it's not just, you know, Julian that's getting cheated here. I do believe Sean is also involved in the neglect or the abuse or the cruelty. And I believe that that is being unveiled. But I don't know. And I guess this all boils down to Yoko and John's relationship. It caused all of this. You know, it was still didn't get answers though about, you know, her handling John. You know, I really wish okay, I'm going to do something that I normally don't do. I'm going to keep digging because I feel like, yeah, this is telling us about their relationship and the two boys who were stuck in the middle of it all. But, you know, I really just want to know, like, what is Yoko's purpose in this entire spread? it wasn't just to gain, you know, money. There's something else. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles reversed, sitting next on top of the King of Pentacles upright. There is a block of fortune. There is a sort of, oh, the Four of Swords reversed is usually a card that symbolizes like recovery from drugs, the like going into a hospital of some sort. It can be a card that you need to take out time to rest. But it could also represent gaining mental strength. Oh, goodness, guys. These cards are like tripping me out. And it's like the deeper I go, the more confused I am. I'm not going to lie. You know, not every tarot read gives you the answer you want to hear. That is for sure. And so I'm just going to do one more card and see. Yeah, see, there's the end of a struggle of some sort. I don't know, guys. All I can see here is that it's just showing Yoko Ono as a horrible, greedy, selfish, vindictive, cruel woman who took the Knight of Swords for a ride and even blocked his growth in some way. And the Queen of Pentacles reversed is showing like the complete opposite, but it can also be like a doubting of, it's just not having that abundance. And that could be to tie in with the card of poverty we have buried way down here, because the King is the ultimate as far as that goes. So yeah, again, we didn't really come to any sort of conclusion here today. I think we just surprisingly were told the story. But you know what? Something in here is not as it seems. And maybe that's worth looking more into. I'm just kind of frustrated with how this read has ended today, because, you know, I'm going to be straight up with you guys. I don't always understand the messages that come through. Sometimes you get these cards that are just, you know, initially they don't make sense. Maybe as I go back through editing, something will come to me, because sometimes that does happen. But yeah, I really did pull a lot of cards today. And I feel like we just got told, you know, something isn't as it seems. We got told the story of their relationship, and she ends up with all the wealth. Well, these two, you know, he may be better off than Julian, but he still suffered. He still went through some shit being the son of Yoko Ono. So again, let's just pull one of these little oracle card, fortune cookie cards to clear the air. We're going to do, if you are worried you don't have the strength to move on, think of how much strength you are using to hold on. Then redirect that energy and enjoy your life. Funny. If you're worried you don't have strength, then strength is reversed here in this deck. So, I mean, in this spread, sorry. Whew, okay. This one is over. I really do want to explore the something is not as it seems, because duh, you know, and that was my initial intention with this spread, is to dive into that. But I think we dove into the, I guess, character of Yoko Ono, and she was nasty. She's a nasty person, and she was a bad mother and an uncaring and cruel person, in my opinions and allegedly. So that is it for me, guys. Thank you so much again for hanging out with me on this Sunday afternoon, and I will catch you in my next video. Bye.
One of the staff members and a co-founder held a competition in the first issue of the newspaper. His name was Jan Iarkomo, apparently a Polish filmmaker. The same Jan Iarkomo who ran this ad in the next issue. The same Jan Iarkomo who contributed to the Church of the Final Judgment and their magazine, The Process. The same Jan Iarkomo who engaged his friend Yoko Ono to perform an exhibition at his own Indica Gallery.
She was having a show at this gallery. So anyway, I finally got to this show, and she had all these things on, like all these like hammer nail things, and that clock there, you listen to it through a stethoscope, all the things. There was this ladder and a thing on the ceiling. So I climbed the ladder, and on the ceiling it said, yes. But it said yes, and that was enough, you know. And then she came up and said she didn't know who I was.
Neither of them know about it.
Yoko came around to my house.
She knew who the Beatles were because
she had met him.
She met you.
Yeah.
She knew of the Beatles.
Neither of them know about it.
I don't know.
But of course, I mean, if she knocked on your door, she knew you were a Beatle.
The same Jan Iarkomo that wrote Paperback Writer. The same Jan Iarkomo whose name backwards sounds like, listen, Jan Iarkomo, Jan Iarkomo, Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney.
So Miles anyway turned me on to a lot of that International Times, Evergreen, all those little things. There were lots of very far out, and we used to do a lot of that.
This means that someone like Paul McCartney is on the scene and have supported it in both direct and indirect ways, and will probably say we have the same concept of freedom as he does. Have all found a certain similarity in their aims, more intimate and direct.
So way before John met Yoko and got avant-garde, I was like the avant-garde London bachelor with Miles, my pad in St. John's Wood. I was making like 8mm movies, showing them to Antonioni. I was into quite a sort of heavy avant-garde trip. I'd sit with Burroughs in a basement. And I remember sitting around with Burroughs, you know, to do little tapes and backward, crazy stuff.
Sell out your sons forever.